spirit of Detroit on the day after Christmas in Michigan. The Maryland Terrapins, their starting quarterback, senior Perry Hills, makes his final collegiate start today. Boston College head coach Steve Addazio has a stellar defense again this season, led by defensive end Harold Landry. And we welcome you to the 2016 Quick Lane Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania from Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. Out of the Big Ten, it's the Maryland Terrapins taking on the ACC's Boston College Eagles. Happy holidays from Detroit. Great to have you with us, along with former collegiate and NFL linebacker Ray Bentley. I'm Mark Neely. Alex Cordry down on the field. We'll check in with her shortly. Ray, each of these teams had to win their final regular season game to become bowl eligible. But for two teams that have 6 wins, they both seem genuinely excited about the direction of their program.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of fun talking to him. The energy, DJ Durkin was just, you know, beside himself, all excited about what this team's done with the young kids that they have. And then Steve Addazio, we talked to him. He had me so pumped up. I was ready to play, and it was like he was getting his team ready to play in a national championship game. So this is a meaningful game for both these teams. They're going to get after it today.
That Boston College defense, so impressive. Harold Landry, we mentioned him at the top. Is he going to be the best player on the field today?
I think so. I mean, if what I've seen on film is any indication, this guy's unbelievable getting after the quarterback. He covers so much ground with his long strides. He's got long arms, and he plays with great technique. You see the numbers he's had this season, and you got to give Paul Pasqualoni, the defensive line coach, a lot of credit for getting the most out of Landry.
And Maryland quarterback Perry Hills, he makes his final collegiate start today, but I think Maryland fans are just happy, Ray, that he's healthy enough to start.
Well, it's good when he's healthy enough to start. You see, he's 6-1 in games that he starts and finishes. He's an excellent runner, but he got banged up doing so. The good news is they can turn him loose today. There's no tomorrow for Perry Hills. They don't have to worry about anything. So they're going to need him to run and be accurate in the quick game.
Well, the third member of our broadcast team, Alex Cordry, down on the field, has more on the senior Perry Hills.
Hey there, Ray and Mark. Well, yeah, Perry Hills, he had right and left shoulder injuries throughout the season that sidelined him, but expect to see a fresh and healthy Hills today. The Terps quarterback told me that the layoff before their bowl game gave him the time he needed to rest and recover and be able to a chance to work with the training staff. And DJ Durkin said Hills as healthy as he's been all season long, so expect him to have a big bowl game today.
Alex, thanks so much. We'll look forward to hearing from you all afternoon. Before we get to kick, let's take a look at today's keys to the game, brought to you by the Franklin American Mortgage Company.
Well, for Maryland, they got to manufacture some offense one way or another, because this BC defense is outstanding. Then they got to tie the knot, non-offensive touchdowns. They got to score on defense or special teams. Boston College, they got to run wild today. They got to play hard in that running game and then bring the heat on the defensive side if they're going to win this contest.
Now, Boston College won the toss and deferred, so Maryland will receive. It's Jake Funk back deep for the Terps, along with DJ Moore. And Mike Knoll ready to kick it off for the Eagles. He has a 29% touchback rate this year, and we are underway from Ford Field in Detroit. From a couple yards deep, DJ Moore will take a knee. It'll come out to the 25 for the Terrapins. And the senior quarterback, Perry Hills.
Watching Perry Hills, he's an explosive runner, Mark. I mean, underrated in my opinion. Throws the quick game extremely well, accurate, and the deep game, when he can get his feet set, he can throw the ball down the field as well. And he's a senior. He knows what he's doing. He has command of this offense.
Out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, went to Central Catholic High School.
Corner blitz.
They fake the jet sweep. They do the jet sweep to DJ Moore. Comes to the near side. He gets across the 35. Keeps the feet moving all the way up near the 38-yard line before he's pushed out by Will Harris. And that's a first down of 13 yards. Take a look at our impact players.
Right, DJ Moore, we just saw him, leads the team with 6 touchdowns. He's an explosive guy. And then Tyrell Pigram is the backup quarterback, and they'll bring him in to run the football, particularly in the red zone.
Ty Johnson gets the carry. He picks up about 1. As we see Maryland with some tempo. They're in offense, Ray, that will run a couple of different tempos.
Yeah, it's basically as fast as we can go or the freeze look, and then, of course, they can slow it way down. But they like to go fast when they can. And this is the freeze where they're going to look over at offensive coordinator Walt Bell, who I think is one of the best in the best in the business guys. He really made an impact on this Terrapin football team when he came in the offseason.
2nd down and 9. And here's the play fake, and Hill's going to take a deep shot. And he overthrows the intended receiver, Teldrick Morgan. Will Harris on the coverage for the Eagles.
Don't know if that's an adrenaline overthrow from Hills or what it was, but he had a receiver wide open with a couple of steps. And really, he should have flattened him out. Don't throw it too deep. Just lead him across the field. There was nobody over there to pick him up.
So it's 3rd and 9, and this is where Harold Landry can pin his ears back and come after the quarterback.
Yeah, this is his down. 3rd and longs. They get exotic with some of the things that they'll do. They move guys around. There's Landry right there.
Rush forward, swing out the pass to Johnson, and is spun around at about the 44-yard line by Connor Strahan, but about 3 yards short of the 1st down.
Strahan was faking a blitz on the opposite side, and he had coverage. He had a long way to go. He took off before the snap to get over there and get Johnson.
So they do get a 1st down, but now we'll punt. There's Tyler Rouse back to receive the punt, averaging about 14 yards per punt return this year, along of 53 yards.
Fair catch is not in his vocabulary. He loves to take chances, and a lot of times it pays off for him.
Left-footed punter Wade Lees. And what do you know?
Yeah,
there's
of course,
a fair catch.
The fair catch jinx.
For one of the few times this year at his own 17-yard line. So that'll bring out the Boston College offense. And their senior quarterback, actually 5th-year graduate student, a transfer from Kentucky, Patrick Tolles, who will also here make his final collegiate start today.
And you see Tolles, the 51% completion mark, that has been an issue with him now in their game against UConn that they won to the second to last game of the year. He had 74%. They're going to need him up around that 70% mark today in their short passing game.
Makes the handoff to John Hilleman. Tolles rolling out. He fires, has a man wide open at the 30. And the tumbling catch. That's made by Korab Adrizi. I hesitate because that's just his 2nd catch of the season all year for Adrizi. John Hilleman brought down by Roman Braglio. A gain of 5 on 1st down.
This is what Boston College is. They will pound the football at you over and over. 65% of the play calls are runs with this outfit. And they want to run it at you, hit you with play action, beat you with defense and special teams. Their offense plays to the defense and special teams.
2nd and short for the Eagles.
Waist down, they could take a shot here.
Will hand it off. Rouse has the 1st down up near the 36. Actually, that's John Hilleman who's come in.
This is Boston College football, Mark. You know, they will pound it at you and try to be physical. That's what they're known for. When you think Boston College, you think of big, tough offensive lines and then the defense and linebackers.
1st down Eagles from the 35-yard line of Maryland. Make the handoff to Hilleman. Time for Tolles now. Roll it out, looking downfield. He'll just take off with it and step out at about the 30 and pick up 5.
Great coverage down the field. Nowhere for Tolles to throw the football. So he had to scramble. And he's a big guy, 6'5", 253 pounds. You try to sack that guy, it's like tackling a tree.
Tolles, a 2-year starter at Kentucky, started 22 games in his 28 overall appearances. Here, his toss is low to Michael Walker and incomplete.
And he hurried it, and he being Tolles. His footwork went away a little bit. He didn't follow through straight to the target. That's one of the issues with Tolles. Every once in a while, he'll just totally lose his technique, and it drives coaches crazy. Because he can do it. I mean, he's got all the tools. He's got a big league arm.
This year he has started every game for Steve Addazio's Eagles. Eagles 0 for 1 on 3rd down so far today. On 3rd and 2 handoff. Hilleman the first down. Makes his way up to the 20. Darnell Savage and Jared Ross wrap him up.
And the power play. Pulled the guard around, leading up into the hole. Got the tight end up in there as well. You're going to see that looping around here and taking care of business.
Quickly back to the line. Another handoff. Hilleman bounces outside, uses a stiff arm inside the 10 before he's bumped out of bounds by Alvin Hill.
Tempo from Boston College. They're going faster than we expected, and it's been an advantage for them thus far. They're rolling now.
Right back to the line from the 6. Handoff. Hilleman straight ahead. Keeps pushing all the way to the goal line. Touchdown. Well, it's the Eagles offense instituting some tempo, and it's paid off in the game's first score.
And this is just a power play where you're bringing massive bodies to the point of attack. You see some really nice blocking, and then the push by Hilleman, but that's going to be called back, I believe. I think the knee went down before he crossed the line.
After review, the runner's knee was down with the ball at the half-yard line. The ball will be placed at the half-yard line, 2nd down. The clock will start on the ready.
So they do overturn the call on the field. It will be a 2nd and goal from inside the 1.
If I were a betting man, I'd say that Steve Adazio is going to call the same exact play.
Steve Adazio in his 4th season. 7 wins each of his first 2 years. 3 last year. Back up to 6, trying to make it a winning season with a win here today. And also try to give Boston College their first bowl win since 2007.
He inherited a 2-win football team and has gone to bowl games 3 out of his first 4 years. He didn't get that.
Tolles kept in, and he did not get in. He quickly was hit and dropped short of the goal line, so it will be 3rd and goal.
Gives a credit to that Maryland defensive line. And they're stacked up in there, shoulder to shoulder. Low man wins on the goal line, and then you have to have linebackers coming flying over the top.
Thanks.
Excuse me, Mark. I think you hand the ball off. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's where I was going to lead you. They have Wolford as the fullback. Hilleman again in the backfield. Here's the toss to Hilleman. Turns it up. Lowers his shoulder to get in this time. He is in for sure. Touchdown, Boston College.
No doubt about that one. Hilleman takes the toss and runs over Alvin Hill at the goal line to get BC on the board. You see, there's nothing fancy about this. This is just student body right. And a nice cut back inside, and then the power to finish the run for John Hilleman.
So that run will go as Hilleman's 6th rushing touchdown of the season. And the point after is blocked. Live ball picked up. Burkett may have blocked it. It's returnable. That's Savage, who's out of bounds at the 15. So the extra point by Knoll is blocked. So it stays 6-0, and already we see a special teams play a role in this game. Back in Detroit, Michigan for this Quick Lane Bowl. 6-0 Boston College leading Maryland. The reason it's not a 7-0 game is that it's deja vu all over again for Chandler Burkett. Right there, gets the PAT block. He also had one, Ray, against Rutgers in their regular season finale.
Right, 2 games in a row now. He's getting in there and batting away kicks. That's a great play that could have a big significance to this ball game.
Moore's going to bring it out this time from about 3 yards deep. And there goes DJ Moore. There is a flag. Moore to midfield. Looks to come back. Uses a stiff arm. The kicker. DJ Moore and Wes Brown in the backfield with Hills. Looks to hand off to Moore. And it's the carry for the quarterback Hills for a couple up to the 15. DeAndre Lane to stop.
That little unbalanced line, just trying to create a little room. And again, I think Hills, there are no limitations on what they're going to have him do today. Whatever it takes to win, they will run Perry Hills as often as needed.
Hills turned around, looked for Johnson, throws and high, incomplete. That's Been lines on the coverage for Boston College.
It's tough for a quarterback rolling against the grain, so to speak, and then to make a precision throw. That was an out type throw, and when you make that throw, you want your feet set. You want to be able to drill in on it. It's difficult to make that pass on the run. Hills overthrew it.
Hills off to a 1-for-5 start through the air, just 5 yards passing. We're down at 7.
Might be offsides again right here. Let it go.
But immediately Hills wrapped up and brought down by Matt Milano, the senior out of Orlando, a loss of 8.
We talked to Jim Reed, the defensive coordinator for the Boston College Eagles, and they couldn't say enough great things about Matt Milano. One of the hardest workers on this football team, really a leader, and gives him everything he's got. The kid could play as well. Just got up in on that blitz and blew right past him.
Walker and Rouse back deep again. And once again, Wade Lee's punting out of his own end zone. It's a little better punt off this time. And at midfield, taken by Tyler Rouse. Taken to about the 46. But once again, great starting field position for Boston College from the 46. Hilliman cuts it back. He advances to about the 42. Isaiah Davis wraps him up after a first down gain of 4 yards.
And this is typical Boston College, grind them out type of football, and Hilliman fits that mold. He's not going to fancy dance anybody, but he will run you over.
Hilliman again breaks a tackle, uses a stiff arm, and looks like he'll have a first down up at the 36. Eventually stopped by Jermaine Carter Jr., impressive middle linebacker for Maryland.
It ain't exciting, but it's fun for me to watch a team play power football. 2 tight ends, a fullback in the ball game, loading up and just coming downhill, running the ISO. No fair dodging. We're going to cram it down your throat.
Here's a handoff, and Hilliman has been the workhorse. And got knocked a few times in the backfield, but looks like he
got it.
Will be a little short again, perhaps. Let's see what the spot, and with that spot, he is short.
Yeah, they have to get just inside the 36, and they're just inside the 37, it looks to me. Actually, right at the 36, I think, will get it to them. 4th down.
So they're going for it. 10 and 20 on 4th down this year, 50%.
I see that quarterback sneak again. They're not playing for it.
That's exactly what happens. The Tolles will have the first down. Needed about a half yard, and he gets close to 2 or 3. First down, BC.
I don't understand the way Maryland played that one. You know, when you got a quarterback sneak threat, you got to cover the center and both A-gaps. You can't just give them one of those, and they did right there.
First down, Boston College. A touchdown run for John Hilliman, the only scoring so far, and the point after was blocked.
It'll be time for a play-action pass here on first down. We haven't seen much of that yet from BC. There you go.
Here's Tolles looking in the direction and completing it at the 10-yard line.
It's Tommy Sweeney, the big tight end, and I got to tell you, he is an up-and-comer. I really think he's going to be a name you're going to hear for a long time. He runs great routes. You saw the little stem at the top of that route. That created the separation. He's able to break away and be a big target for his quarterback, Patrick Tolles. Very good execution on that.
25th catch of the year for Sweeney, and that takes us to the end of the first quarter. Again, the Hilliman 1-yard touchdown run, the only scoring, and the point after was blocked. We played 1 quarter of the 2016 Quick Lane Bowl, and Boston College has the 6-0 lead over the Terrapins.
And Ray Bentley, guys.
And thanks very much. So Miami of Ohio lost their first 6 games of the season, won 6 in a row. Couldn't quite finish it off with a 7-game winning streak.
Yeah, but Chuck Martin did a great job of solidifying his position there and getting that team off of about a 3, 4, 5-year skid.
We begin the second quarter. And a carry for John Hilliman. What you need to know about the first quarter is this: 1 total yard for Maryland in the first quarter. And it's not like Boston College was a world beater, but 88, not bad, got a touchdown. But look at the sacks for their defense.
Right, and that's what has led them to the great field position. You look at where they're starting their drives. They've started their last 2 drives in Maryland territory. That helps the offense immensely.
Hilleman comes out. Tyler Ross is in. Also Jeff Smith there at the top of your screen, lined up wide. Always got to keep an eye on him. Here he comes in motion, Smith. Tolles looking in his direction. Now looks back and has him wide open. Touchdown. He finds Tommy Sweeney for Sweeney's 3rd touchdown catch of the year.
The old tight end delay throwback on the goal line. A beautiful play. And what it does is it gives Boston College another 6 points. And here's your tight end right here. And he's going to block, get through the traffic, count to 3, and then go. And there is nobody home except for Tommy Sweeney.
Well, the point after on their first score was blocked by Chandler Burkett. So keep an eye on 92. There he is from Maryland. His point after for Mike Knoll. This one good snap, good hold. It is up and through, and it's 13-0 BC. Early second quarter, Sweeney has a touchdown catch for the Eagles. And Boston College is out to a 13-0 lead in the Quick Lane Bowl. Welcome back to the 2016 Quick Lane Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Early in this second quarter, Boston College out to the 13-0 lead over Maryland.
This Maryland offense has to wake up. They got to do something. Now, we were told that they were going to go with Perry Hills pretty much the whole day, but they've got an exciting young freshman quarterback, Tyrell Pigram, who's done a nice job for him running the football more so than throwing it. But they might want to think about giving him a chance, because right now they're 3 and out.
They've punted all 4 possessions with 3 and outs their last 3 from about 3 yards deep. DJ Moore for the Terps. The flag is down. A couple of them under the 30 and 40 yard lines. Both these teams trying to win a bowl game and give themselves a winning record. And again, Hill's running out of time. Hit as he tried to throw. The ball went forward. They play it. It's recovered by Truman Goodapple after Merritt knocked it out. And right now that's going as a fumble and a return to the 10.
And give Harold Landry an assist on this one. He's coming there right in front of your screen. Watch the counter move back inside. That forces Hills to move back and outside. And here comes Merritt making a play. This pass defense is outstanding. And it's not even pass defense, it's pass rush. Although you got to have coverage on the back end for these guys to do their thing. But they're getting in there so quick, it's like coverage is almost irrelevant.
Just over 3 minutes into the second quarter. Davon Jones is into the game and running back for the first time today. They fake the handoff to him, and Tolles bootleg. Now cuts it up and to the 6 before he's tackled by Jermaine Carter.
Just a naked bootleg by Patrick Tolles. They figured everybody was going to commit to the run, and why not? They've been running it a lot and effectively, and they thought they could maybe sneak him out to the edge, but the Maryland defense stayed home to thwart that try.
Davon Jones comes right back out. They bring John Hilleman back onto the field.
Hilleman's got the hot hand. You know what? Ride that horse. 13 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown to his credit so far.
Ray Barton, the fullback. Let's see if he gets it here. Hilleman does. Straight ahead. Hit hard just inside the 5.
Yeah, that was Jermaine Carter again making that tackle. Had 15 tackles and 2 sacks in their game against Rutgers, the one they needed to win to become bowl eligible, and he rose up big time. Honorable mention, all Big Ten linebacker for the last 2 years.
They beat Rutgers 31-13. It's a Maryland team that started the season 4-0. Lost 6 of their final 8. Won the regular season finale against Rutgers for win 6 and to become bowl eligible. 3rd and goal. Boston College. Davon Jones now motions out. Low snap. Picked up by Tolles. He's being chased and throws it away in the general vicinity of Jones, but lives for another down. But it will be 4th down.
Yeah, they were going to try and get to the edge with Tolles, give him a run pass option, but when you don't get the snap,
secured, and it's over. And he just had to throw it out. They'll go for the field goal.
Mike Knoll comes on. Junior from the state of Ohio, 11 for 12 this year, a career long of 40 yards. Good snap, that's down and good. And Knoll's field goal makes it 16-0 Boston College.
Michael Dunn with 48 career starts. I mean, he's been a stalwart at BC for the last 4 years. And I believe he'll get a chance. And, you know, he was going to go against Harold Landry today, and I know he hates not having that opportunity.
Oregon takes a knee.
I think it's a mystery right now for Walt Bell and DJ Durkin as far as what to do to get this offense going.
Bills to throw on first down, complete to Morgan, who outruns one defender, a cutback at the 40. And maybe there's an answer there.
Yeah, get these receivers involved. They've got a really nice trio of receivers with DJ Moore, Teldrick Morgan, who just made that play, and Lee Byrne Jacobs. They've got some weapons. They just got to find a way to get it out to these guys.
18-yard gain. Best offensive play of the day for the Terps. First down from outside their own 40, and
that's a loose ball. Live ball.
That was a backward pass. DJ Moore, even though he had to reach forward for it, the pass was behind.
Yeah, they were trying to get the double pass and hit the back out of the backfield. This guy right here, he's going to go deep, and they're looking for that double pass. You know, it sets up like a quick screen. That's a live ball. It's thrown backwards. So they went to a trick, and it didn't work out too well for him.
But you mentioned Walt Bell, who's the first-year offensive coordinator. He's a guy in his time at Arkansas State in the last few years. That's in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, he's one of the best young offensive minds in the game. He's used to, as he told us, playing with inferior personnel. So you got to come up with things like this.
There goes Ty Johnson into the end zone, touchdown, and a big boost for the Terps. Comes from their sophomore running back.
I'm wondering, they were negative 20 rush yards prior to that play, and they bring Ty Johnson in. He should be in there more often than not. He's just going to come and rip it up here, and the safety's going to come in on a bad angle, and that's why this thing goes to the house. You see the safety come in right there on the right, number 28, actually a linebacker, Milano, and he did not take a good angle, and that's what gave Ty Johnson the jump.
62-yard touchdown run for Johnson. They use the swing and gate here for the point after.
Gate ain't opening today.
Adam Green for the point after out of the hold of Caleb Rowe. Little issue with the snap, but a
great hold
by Caleb Rowe. Absolutely, and the point after is good for Green. Ray, this is a play Maryland badly needed.
They did. I mean, this might wake them up, get them going. They get their top running back, in my opinion, Ty Johnson in the game. He goes 62 to the house.
Welcome back to the Quick Lane Bowl, where the Eagles lead the Terrapins 16-7, but Ty Johnson's touchdown, just what the doctor ordered for the Terps. DJ Durkin, he's known as a head coach with tons of energy. He was firing up his sideline right after Johnson's touchdown. They needed that momentum here, guys.
You are not kidding, Alex. 75 yards on that last drive, 62 coming on the last run by Ty Johnson, who now has 10 plays of 40-plus yards this year, which shows you that he is explosive. Right?
He's a home run guy, and I think he should be getting a lot more carries. Only 95 carries on the season. I think you got to find a way to get that kid at least up around 150 or more with his ability to bust it loose like that.
Miles Willis wisely lets it roll out of bounds. Miles Willis!
He's giving him one.
Ankle tackled at the 33 by Jared Ross, who may have saved the touchdown. Here's Willis saying, hey, Johnson, my explosive play, here's one.
I can get it too. Great blocking, though. I mean, nobody touched him until he got tackled, you know, some 20-odd yards down the field. Outstanding up front by this BC offensive line.
31-yard run for Willis.
Counter.
Smith to the 28. That's Jeff Smith.
They'll bring Jeff Smith in as a quarterback and mostly to run with the football. He was a quarterback here as a freshman last year, started 3 games and then switched to receiver in the spring, but they still bring him in there and use his abilities to run the football, and he can throw.
And we stay in the Wildcat with Smith. He hangs on to it, trying to get to the edge and runs out of bounds at the 28.
Smith is a burner. I mean, he's a legitimate 4-4 guy, is what Scott Leffler, the offensive coordinator for the Eagles, told us. He said, you know, we got to get that ball in his hands at least a dozen times during the course of a game, because he's so explosive. He can take it to the house at any given time.
So now he's going to go line up at receiver as they bring Patrick Tolles back in at quarterback for 3rd down and 4. Eli Jones also in at the back spot. And here comes Smith in motion. Fake the jet sweep to him. Tolles rolls out, looking in the direction of Walker, but now will take off himself, and with his legs will have the 1st down at the 20. 8-yard gallop for the quarterback, Patrick Tolles.
Nice play. I like what they did here. First of all, they give you a little cheese. Jeff Smith running across on the motion look. And then they're going to run underneath with the submarine boot, where you see the back running behind the line of scrimmage. That took the defender and allowed Tolles to use the running ability to move the chains.
Tolles gives it to Walker. Nope. Who reverses it, and it's back to Tolles. Touchdown.
Wow.
Walker to Smith to Tolles.
Scott Leffler dials up some razzle-dazzle here in the red zone. A little reverse pass back to the quarterback, who is eligible because he was in the shotgun. And away we go, Boston College. Everything's working their way. A great throw, boom. I mean, that's pretty easy. And Pat Tolles was pretty excited about it, and so were the boys upstairs. One of them was.
Point after for Knoll is through, and it's 23-7. Just Jeff Smith's 2nd pass completion of the season.
And that's a pretty good one. I love this play call down here in this area of the field. And then you get your senior quarterback in the end zone with a pass reception.
Jeff Smith with a 20-yard touchdown pass to quarterback Patrick Tolles. 23-7, BC leading midway through this 2nd quarter. How did this come about, Ray?
Well, here's Michael Walker. He's going to come across in jet motion, take the ball, pitch it to Smith, who's going to come around here, and watch Patrick Tolles just sneak around the edge, and nobody's going to see him. And nobody should. You know, when you design a defense, you don't put in anything to cover a quarterback for running out on a route. So great execution, outstanding timing of the call, and BC is about to run away with this thing. We're going to need another 62-yard run from Ty Johnson to get this thing back into a ball game here.
Kicked by Mike Knoll, funking Morgan back deep, and Morgan from a couple yards deep brings it out for the Terps. With a 25, 30, 35, 40, right down the sideline across midfield before he's bumped out of bounds.
That helps. That's going to make this offense be able to open it up right off the get-go, returning a kick into their opponent's territory.
They do have Ty Johnson in the backfield here. Got a 62-yard touchdown run on their last possession. Hills, screen pass, the tunnel to Levern Jacobs. Spot him down at about the 34. 11-yard gain, 1st down.
I think Hills checked to that play and spread him out pretty good, and then he caught Boston College in a blitz. There were no linebackers over there. That made that tunnel screen go.
Here's Johnson straight ahead to just inside the 30. Gain of 4, tackled by Truman Goodapple and Kevin Kavalak.
See if Maryland wants to go with a little bit of tempo. Sometimes that'll shake you out of the doldrums.
Hills gives to Johnson, who finds a crease. Johnson high steps into the end zone, touchdown, and Maryland quickly responds, once again thanks to Ty Johnson.
And give an assist to Perry Hills. That's an outstanding read on the zone read. And the thing that made it so effective was the length of the ride. Watch how long he has this ball right here. Now here's the guy he's reading. That's the guy that has quarterback. So he says, all right, I'm going to keep the ball long enough so you can't get the running back, because they'll try to cat and mouse and get both of you. Outstanding execution on that offense. DJ Durkin with a little bit of a smile.
Ty Johnson, a 62-yard touchdown run on their previous possession. Uh-oh. Then a 30-yard touchdown run there. And
they've been watching too much TV.
Yeah.
They tried to do the old jump pass that we saw the big boy do from the Chiefs last night.
That's right. So each team now has missed an opportunity with an extra point. This one, a little different fashion.
And this is on number 30, who's got the ball, Kenneth Goins. He's got to wait a little bit and let his guy, Avery Edwards, get down the field a little bit. But DJ Durkin's having fun. You know, and that was the thing, Mark, that I tried to capture at the top of the show today. When we talked to those guys, they were all, everybody, you know, some people 6-6, oh, that's horrible. No, these guys are on the rise, both sides. And they keep it positive with the young players they have, and I love it. That's what this game's about. They got good, what I call program momentum. They're heading in the right direction. Both these teams are.
Junior Danny Sutton kicks off for the Terps. This one will be returnable from Miles Willis from the 6. Willis hit and dropped shy of the 25. The Eagles fortunate to have the football here. That pass to the sideline right near midfield is grabbed by Charlie Callanan, and that's a catch and a first down.
That's a whale of a throw by Patrick Tolles, who Boston College said, no, we're not going to try to run this timeout. We're coming after you. And that's a strike. The timing was immaculate.
21-yard gain, first down at the 49 of Maryland. And the
BC looks, Maryland looks like they're playing man. Fresh coverage.
Tolles down the sideline for Walker, caught, and he's gliding into the end zone. Michael Walker, touchdown.
Wow. Boston College in a 2-minute drill, lighten it up. Patrick Tolles with beautiful throws, moving this football down the field. That was the second deep shot that Boston College has taken so far, and a lot of teams like to take 3-4 a quarter. They don't take many, but they've hit on both of theirs today for a total of 70 yards and that touchdown. And what a great usage of the body by Michael Walker to get separation at the last second.
Reception.
He won't.
Oh,
Shanky.
and he missed it. So it stays 29-13, and the point afters have been an issue really on both sides. Boston College will receive the second half kickoff, and they lead at 29-13 at the break. Now let's get you to the studio with Adnan Booger and Danny for the Buick halftime report.
Coach, we've seen you spread the ball around, even a trick play. What are your thoughts on the job by your offense in this first half?
I think they're doing a great job. We just got to go in at halftime, readjust, retune what our second half plan is right now. I thought we mixed it up really well. Run, pass, trick plays, power run game, spread run game. And it was a beautiful ball thrown by Patrick and a great catch by Mike Walker. I think they're playing really, really hard. I think our team's playing really hard. I hate to see the little silly things like not getting lined up right on a field goal, but our team's playing really hard and really want to go in at half and make sure we come out in the second half with more passion, more energy, and more execution. When
you talk about your team, how about your defense? 2 turnovers, 4 sacks on Perry Hills. What do you like that they're doing?
Well, I mean, that's how they play all year. Excuse me, and just fantastic. We got to keep pressure on them. We got to stop the run, and we got to continue to stifle. Right now, this is the time to go in and come out stronger in the second half than we came out in the first half.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Welcome back to the 2016 Quick Lane Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania. We're just about ready to start the second half from Ford Field in Detroit. Boston College out of the ACC leading the Big Ten's Maryland Terrapins 29-13. Happy holidays from Ford Field in Detroit. Along with Ray Bentley, I'm Mark Neely. Ray, that first half, Boston College kind of got the offense going. I think some Eagle fans
Big
are saying,
time.
where's that been all year?
Yeah,
and
right.
Patrick Tolles had a really nice first half.
That 2-minute drill at the end was outstanding, but Patrick Tolles was the story for this Boston College offense. Unless you want to talk about the big 5 guys up front who have done well. But here they go, get on the board with a throwback pass, perfectly executed to Sweeney. And then he's going to get himself a little throwback as well as he takes the snap, runs a little wheel route to the house, and then that last minute drive where he dropped that perfect pass in for the touchdown, and that's how you do it. If you're looking for a celebration, that's the one I like right there.
Nice numbers for Tolles in that first half. As you look at the team numbers, you'll notice penalties. Maryland was 7. They turned the ball over twice. The Boston College defense had 4 sacks, and starting field position was a big story, heavily in favor of BC.
Yeah, those sacks really kept Maryland backed up into their own end of the field and gave BC outstanding field position for their drives. So that's a big part of it.
And Boston College will receive to start the second half. Willis back deep, and Danny Sutton kicks off. Willis chases it 8 yards into the end zone and takes a knee. I know we're just starting the second half here, Ray, but if you're the Maryland defense, this is already an important part of the game right here.
Yeah, you got to set the tone for the second half. If you have any thoughts about winning this ball game, you got to get this team to punt a football or take it away here and get things rolling.
Going to hand it off to John Hilleman to the 31. Picks up 6. Tackled by Isaiah Davis.
They're going to keep pounding Hilleman. I mean, that's what got them a little success early on. It established the physical nature of the way they're playing this football game. And they're going to keep coming downhill with Hilleman.
He's on pace for about a 30-carry game. You have Adrisi in as the fullback. Give it back to Hilleman. Will fall forward and tumble to the 32 or 3. Stop for Alvin Hill.
Looks like they're working that left side of the offensive line behind Eli Johnson, a true freshman left guard, and Montiero, a sophomore over there. They're going to be good for years to come. The center Baker's a junior. The other guard, Chris Lidstrom's a sophomore. The only senior up front is Jimmy Lowry.
I mentioned Eli Johnson, the freshman for BC. He's actually from the state of Maryland, went to DeMatha Catholic High School.
Got a handful of guys out there.
3rd and 2, low and incomplete for Jeff Smith, and it's 4th down. And the Maryland defense, it's what they were hoping for.
Tolles shaking his head at himself. I think he overthrew that one, and that's why it ended up low and hard and really difficult to catch.
Eldrick Morgan had a couple of returns for 68 yards in that first half, but a really good boot here. Chases him all the way back to the 13. He retreats inside the 10 and is tackled back near the 5. And again, that starting field position has been a negative for Maryland, but
Great
that right there was created by the punt, exactly, by Mike Knoll. Oh, Hill's trying to hand off. The ball's loose, and it's near the goal line. Who has it? And if Boston College has it, this may be a score.
On the goal line, that's a touchdown.
Touchdown, Eagles. Hills won't let go of it, but
still trying to hold on to it. Right there, 94. Just blows up in there, Noah Merritt. He blows the play up, and then Kavalek falls on it in the end zone. But that move by Noah Merritt to get a man that's 327 pounds and move that quickly around another one is mind-boggling.
well, that look from the goal line, Johnson had a chance to pick it up for Maryland.
When I turned on the film and watched these guys, I was blown away. And they are that good, and they are way ahead.
Boston College up 36-13, and in large part it's because Coach Paul Pasqualone's defensive line have dominated this game. And Coach Pasqualone has got a long history. A lot of people remember him from his days at Syracuse, which I thought he got ejected out of there a little early, but nonetheless, he's done a great job with this Boston College defensive line. And this is just the defensive ends for him this season. That's a lot of dudes making a lot of plays from a great coach.
Morgan from a yard deep. A spin at the 12. Still rolling outside the 20, tackled at the 21-yard line. Hills on the play fake. There's a man open at the 37-yard line. That's DJ Moore. Had a first down, a gain of 15.
Not bad protection there, and that's what they're going to have, especially trailing like they are. Maryland's going to have to put this ball up in the air. Of course, that's feeding time for this Eagle defense.
Second catch of the game for Moore, who's now caught a pass in 21 consecutive games. Hills got it forward to the end zone. That's Morgan, touchdown. Wow, you know,
I don't know if Will Harris got hurt or what, but he pulled up at the end.
That looked strange, and I hesitated. And Morgan was able to just waltz on into the end zone, but Maryland gets a quick score to respond to the score they gave up to the other side.
That's what they needed. And this is just a straight shot. I mean, he's going to go deep, and I'll throw it as far as I can. But the problem is you can see the little hitch in the get-along for Will Harris. He's not running normal right there. He's limping a little bit.
Adam Green for the point after. Well, technically it's back to a two-score game. A 16-point lead for Boston College, and still very early in this third quarter. Saturday afternoon, the teams volunteered at the Gleaners Food Bank here in Detroit. For the record, Maryland bested Boston College, bagging 21,000 pounds of potatoes, bettering BC's mark of 17,000 pounds of potatoes bagged for the food bank.
So we had some bowling and then some tatering.
Yes, there's been quite a bit of competition between the two schools prior to taking the football field here.
I like it, and they're doing good in the community, getting involved, so good for them.
Miles Willis from the 4, banked out hard about the 22-yard line. Give it to Hilleman. Going to stretch it out.
It's interesting, Mark. One of the things I thought was whoever was able to run the ball between the tackles, because both of these teams like to run the edge. I thought that would be a big thing in this ball game. Well, BC has run it in between the tackles for 101 yards and outside for only 20, and Maryland has run it for 112 between the tackles and only 12 yards outside. So I guess you never know.
Going against the trends.
Well, you know, and that's the thing. They saw on film what I saw, and so you switch it up, especially when you have 3 weeks to prepare.
Hilleman again to the 25-yard line, so pick up 4 or 5, but he lost a couple previous play.
Racking up some carries. That was his 19th of the day. Most he's had this season is 27 carries, so they will feed him.
Maryland showing some pressure. Tolles rolling out, feeling that pressure, and a sack back at the 14-yard line by Jermaine Carter.
Yeah, Carter came on the blitz, and he got there, and then Chandler Burkett, 92, got there as well. And tell you what, Tolles had nowhere to go with this one. You can see this thing's going to open up quick on a little stunt. They looped around, and that stunt forced Tolles to the outside right into the arms of Jermaine Carter.
6th sack of the year for Carter. And it forces Mike Knoll to punt from just outside his own goal line. Morgan going to let that bounce. And it'll take a BC roll and be down at the 35-yard line. Take the handoff to Goins, and Hills on first down. A leaping catch by DJ Moore, and a first down up near the 47.
And DJ Moore is a guy I think they need to target a little bit more often. Get him the football and get it in his hands and let him be the playmaker that he is. Only 2 catches and only 2 targets for DJ Moore. Take it back, 3 for 3 now.
Hills heaves it, going in the direction of Jacobs, who makes the adjustment in the catch, and he's headed to the end zone. Touchdown, Maryland. 52 yards, and Maryland bouncing right back, get themselves back in this game.
Another deep shot, connection, and Hills underthrew it a little bit. And I just think that helps your receiver. And 100% of overthrown deep balls are incomplete.
Yes.
I've done a study on that, and that's the case. You got to give your guy a chance. And boy, does Hills do that with this throw. Gets it up in the air. It's a little bit behind, but the defender was totally lost. And that's Mehdi Al-Atrak, and he did not see the football, couldn't find the football. And that happens so often.
Jacobs' second touchdown catch of the year.
You can see, I mean, this ball's underthrown. He's got to slow up to get it, but the defender, Atrak, is not, he can't see the football. And advantage offense, and then of course afterwards Lee Byrne says, I'll just go to the house, thank you. I believe they will. I love the energy that DJ Durkin brings to the situation.
Both these teams missed bowl season last year. Both went 2 years ago. Maryland's trying to win a bowl game for the first time since 2010's Military Bowl against East Carolina. Boston College looking for their first bowl win since the 07 Champs Sports Bowl in Orlando.
Matt Stafford heading home to Texas, where he grew up and played high school football at the same high school as Bobby Lane, who was the last quarterback to win a championship for the Lions in 1957.
Highland Park High School, a gain of 2, first down.
As an addendum to that, we'll tell you about the curse Bobby Lane put on these Lions.
Well, this third quarter started with a bang and ended with another one. Headed to the fourth quarter of the 2016 Quick Lane Bowl, and Boston College leads Maryland 36-27. Ford Field in Detroit. Boston College leading 36-27. That's an Eagles fan, but I don't think that's an eagle atop his
half
head.
Goose, half eagle. I called it a geagle. The geagle guy.
Well, as we begin the fourth quarter, Boston College a second down and 8, and in their own 29-yard line. Low snap, but it's handed off. And here's Willis. Miles Willis. All the way down near the 20-yard line of Maryland, pushed out by Jalen Brooks.
Watch the Maryland defense get so far upfield that they kind of take themselves out of it, and then a nice cut back by Willis, and then it's just him and the open green grasses of this field.
So big play, a run of 43 yards. First play of the fourth quarter for Boston College.
Willis is a nice change of pace guy. They bring him in, and then everything happens a little bit quicker with him back there. Way different look than John Hilliman.
Tolles to the end zone, and a diving attempt by Callanan comes up short.
That's probably the toughest pass to throw. That 7 route, the corner route, when you go deeper on it like that, that is a difficult throw. That's the one a lot of guys get measured by. You can't make that when you can't play on Sunday. That's a pretty good average.
Yeah, I would say so. 37-yard average on the 2 carries.
Give him the ball a few more times, maybe.
I don't think anybody would argue with you on the BC side. Hilliman back in there now, and they give the ball to John Hilliman. Candu with the tackle Alex has more down on the field below on the speedy Miles Willis.
Guys, I'm pretty sure nobody has more fun down here than Miles Willis. He's been all smiles this entire game. You can tell everyone really feeds off of his energy down here. He's constantly hitting guys on the helmet and saying, let's go, let's go.
He is a bundle of energy.
That's what the game is all about, man, is getting yourself jacked up and then bringing along some other guys with you and having the time of your life out here. That's why you play the game.
The slant is caught by Smith. A relatively short gain. He's immediately wrapped up by freshman cornerback Tino Ellis.
Looking at about a 38-yarder from here.
Mike Knoll, who has hit from 22 yards today, back in the second quarter.
And Knoll wasn't the starting kicker at the beginning of the season. Colton Lichtenberg was, and he had some struggles, and Knoll stepped in and took care of his business, and then he took over the punting duties, and he kicks everything for him.
That one's going to go wide right. And Boston College comes up empty, and Maryland continues to hang in this football game early in the fourth. It's still a 9-point game. That's some of the townhouses and businesses being built around the new arena that's being built behind it. You saw a little piece of that. It's going to be the new home for the Pistons and the Red Wings next year.
I think it's going to be real exciting to have the Pistons back downtown, and as much as we all love the Joe Louis Arena here in Hockeytown, I think it's going to be pretty cool to have a new house.
Well, here's Maryland. They take over their own 22. Just under 13 minutes to play. They're down by 9. Johnson to the edge. Down the sideline, walking the tightrope to midfield and cut back. Ty Johnson again. Finally brought down from behind at the 15 by John Johnson. And another explosive play from Ty Johnson.
I don't know how he stayed in bounds. Tight roping along that sideline, the far sideline. Here's the great cut to get out of the reach of Landry. Then he wins the race to the edge, tight ropes, and then makes a couple guys miss, and he's still alive, changing directions. And then he has the smarts to cover up the football, feeling a guy coming from behind him. I mean, that was outstanding. They're going to look and see if he did step out.
Right now it stands as a 61-yard run. Let's watch.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was close there.
I don't think the heel hit on the.
I think you're right, though.
The ruby red slippers.
Look at that cutback. Oh,
there
right
he
there
touched
he's
out
out.
of bounds. Yeah, it was. So he won't get that last 8-10 yards or whatever he got on it. I think he's safe on that first one because just the toe touched the ground. But on that cut right there, boom. I mean, that's pretty cut and dried for me. That's indisputable video evidence.
For the review, the runner stepped out of bounds on the Boston College 49-yard line on the far hash mark. It will be 1st and 10 at that point. Please reset the game clock to 12 minutes and 50 seconds, please.
That's a little bit of a downer for Maryland to have that much yardage come off of it, but still some momentum coming their way thanks to the play of Ty Johnson. So it turns into a 29-yard gain instead.
Still a nice little pop for him, no doubt. And moving this football into BC territory.
So from 61 yards down to 29, but still a first down for Maryland at the BC 49. Give it to Johnson. That time he's met by a wall and will lose a yard thanks to Connor Strahan. Alex has more. Alex?
Well, Perry Hill says the biggest difference this year when it comes to Ty Johnson is that he's just been more patient. He's seeing things. He's making his reads faster. When he makes one guy miss, he's off to the races, as we saw.
And he doesn't lose many races.
That's for sure. His 5th 100-plus yard game of the season. He's got 13 totes for a $154 right now.
Hill slings it out somehow. Goins brought it in with one hand, but then he's tackled at midfield by Truman Goodapple. That will still lose a yard.
Still the pressure from this BC front. They bring a blitz this time, and it's the linebacker coming through, Strahan, who, I mean, nobody blocked him. And that's always a fun thing for a linebacker. Nobody going to block me? Let's go get one. But they're worried about blocking that guy, Harold Landry, and I don't blame him.
Maryland came in converting 35% of their third downs on the year. Today, just 3 of 11. And facing a 3rd and 11 here. They swing it out to Johnson in space. Gets some blocking on the edge. Johnson will fall just a little short.
Close enough, though, that they can go for it. I think this is a 4-down territory situation. If it's a yard or less to make that first down, I think they're going to go for it, and they are. I asked DJ Durkin if he was a gambler, and he says, dude, I'm whatever I got to be to get it done. He says, one thing I will say is I'm very aggressive. And that's good. That's the answer I was looking for.
Going forward on 4th and less than a yard. Little problem with the snap. Hills shovels to Goins, and he's dropped short of the first down. Wow, what a crazy play. It's coming back the other way. The ball came out.
It's still going, I think. There's an official running around like this is a real deal.
Ray Smith into the end zone, touchdown. What a bizarre play. What happened at the end?
I don't know how the ball exchanged hands and what happened. We're going to take another look at this, find out what happened with Goins in the football. All right, here we go. Hills couldn't get the snap. 2 guys go over the top of him. He pitches it out to Goins, who is down, and then he leaves the ball there, and that whistle should have blown, and this one's coming back.
Yeah.
After review, the runner was down prior to the fumble on the 41-yard line. It will be Boston College ball there, 1st and 10. Please put the clock at 10 minutes and 39 seconds.
Well, which I know Maryland is not happy, nor is Ray Smith, that he didn't get the touchdown. But from the Maryland perspective, a little sigh of relief, because that could have been not a game clinching, but pretty close to a touchdown. And now it's all the way back to the Boston College 41. And you're still in this thing if you're the Terps.
Right, but you got to play some defense now. And they've done really well. I mean, they've held, other than the initial drive here in the second half, they've shut Boston College out.
They have Miles Willis in it back.
This is a good place to take a shot yourself after all that excitement.
Kept by Tolles, who will run for a couple of yards to the 43. In motion, Michael Walker. Deep drop by Tolles, throws, deflected, picked off! Down the sideline, the Terps, Savage, and a turnover, the first of the game for Boston College. And now Maryland set up in great field position after the first pick of the year for Darnell Savage.
And Darnell Savage is the beneficiary of a batted pass, because this looked like it was going to be an easy completion. He had his man open. He was waiting for the crossing route, and somehow that thing got tipped. I mean, he was looking for Michael Walker, and Anna Bonham got the hand up, knocked it in the air, and Savage takes it for the Terps. That's how you play team defense right there. The old tip drill, getting after it, and all of a sudden things have changed here real quick like.
First BC turnover. I mentioned earlier Maryland had turned it over 3 times. Here they are down 9 with a first down at the 17 of the Eagles. Johnson only a yard or so.
Johnson's going to lead the game.
Hills fakes the handoff to Wes Brown. Throws. It's caught inside the 5 and knocked out of bounds hard at the 2 is Brown. by John Johnson.
This is a very good football play, and people should do it more often. Throw to the guy you just faked the run to. But the key is you got to have enough protection for him to get out. And they held up front and allowed Hills the time to find Wes Brown on that wheel route.
Hills shovel pass and hit just shy of the end zone. I think was Hayward, the tight end.
Yeah, he caught that shovel pass and then ran into a wall. Derek Hayward with the carry, but he ran into a wall of Boston College Eagles up front and bounced back off of it. He's not used to carrying the football. He didn't expect that.
Did get a yard, so it's 2nd and goal from the 1. Lost it.
That's the 2nd time Hills has dropped or fumbled a snap in this drive from under center.
And Boston College has it.
Unreal.
What a huge turnover there. Man, oh man, that has to be frustrating for DJ Durkin and the Terps. They were on the doorstep.
They're still fighting for the ball in a pile down there. They're not letting go. Well, here it is. You see the snap. It comes flying out to his right.
He had it initially.
He had it between his legs and then lost it. And it looks like Matt Milano just digging in there to get it. Look at Milano's legs just chopping, trying to still get a grip and push it in there further.
Possession at that point, it's dead. First down, Boston College.
Well, there you go.
Well, Maryland on the doorstep with a touchdown there, making this just a 2-point game, and instead they're still down 9 with 4:02 to play. Boston College will take over at their own 1 when we come back. Well, just over 4 minutes to go. Boston College with the ball, a 9-point lead, but their own 2 is where they spot it. Carried out of the end zone. Todd Hilleman. A reminder that immediately following the game, you can tune into ESPN3 for the post-game trophy ceremony presented by Capital One.
This Boston College, they're in their 4-minute offense now with 3:35 left to play. They want to move the chains and eat up that clock and take one home.
Holloman again straight ahead. All right, if you're Maryland, at what point do you start using these 3 timeouts?
Well, I prefer to use them earlier. I would use one right now.
That's indeed what they're going to do.
And that's a good decision. You can never put time back on that clock, so do them early.
So the Terps use their first timeout and stop it with 3:19 to go in Detroit. Boston College 3 minutes 19 seconds away from their first bowl win in 9 years when quarterback Matt Ryan led them to a 24-21 win over Michigan State in the 2007 Champs Sports Bowl in Orlando. To win this, they'd love to convert a 3rd and 7. The Maryland just burned their first time out of the half. Stopped at the 7, well short, and
the ball came out.
Maryland saying the ball came out.
It's been a seesaw turnover battle here of late.
No sign yet from the officials. Boy, if this goes Maryland's way, all of a sudden this game changes on a dime.
Right. It's a lot more interesting.
And wow, it is Maryland football. The recovery by Ucandu.
Let's see what happens here. It's just an inside power play by Hilleman, and they're ripping at the football, which is what you're coached to do in these situations. desperate times call for desperate measures. I did not see it come out.
I think it came out early, right?
Yeah,
in there.
It started to move in his hands, and that first hand came up and swatted it. But I never saw it. There it is.
Yep.
It finally came out right down there, and that's where you candy.
You know, there's been a handful of times in this game, Ray, where you thought Boston College was just another play or two away from finishing this game off.
Yeah.
And they haven't been able to do it. And here's Maryland, first and goal from the 5.
They had their foot raised, ready to stomp on them, stomp them out. Maryland stays alive.
Hills to the end zone. Morgan did not complete the catch. Incomplete.
That was a really nice throw, but great defense at the end. Hills gets enough air on it so that his guy will have a shot. Goes up, but just a great job of taking his hands, John Johnson, and getting them between the receiver's hands. That's what they teach you. If you can't get the ball yourself, then slide your hand between the receiver's hands and get that thing out of there, and that's what John Johnson did.
Morgan had it for a fraction of a second, but it wasn't possession for a catch. Now they go to the far side. That is caught, but out of bounds by Levern Jacobs.
And Jacobs, he had it, but you're right, that he ended up out of bounds. That's a tough play, because, I mean, this is a really nice thrown ball again. His guy's got it. The foot comes down, and he's out of bounds on the white, clearly.
Isaac Yiadom on the coverage, so now it's 3rd and goal. It's a 9-point game, so Maryland knows they need 2 scores to win this game. With 3:03 to go, they have 2 timeouts.
Well, yeah, conceivably, they could kick a field goal here to get that part of the equation done.
Batted down.
Another one.
Ray Smith. He's had himself a nice second half here.
3rd swat of the day for this defensive line.
So you got to take the points here, don't you?
Yeah, you kick your field goal. I don't think there's any question about it. And then you understand you have to get a touchdown to win this ball game, at least at this point. But that's just another great example of the awareness of this defensive line. Because the big boy Ray Smith was nowhere close to the quarterback, but yet he affected the play by keeping himself in it and following his coaching from Coach Pasqualoni.
22-yard attempt, Adam Green, and the Terps need that to make it a 1-score game and get it. With 2:55 to go, it's 36-30.
I'm also looking forward to the decision DJ Durkin makes here. I think you have to kick an onside kick, right? 2:55 left, 2 timeouts. I suppose you could kick it deep.
If you had 3 timeouts, your chances of kicking it deep are probably a lot.
Yeah, that's what gets me is the 2 timeouts. So I think they're going to attempt the onside kick. That is what I would do. And they're in that formation to do so, as they've got a cluster of guys along the far sideline.
This is Danny Sutton. Let's see how the Terps elect to play this here with 2:55 to go and 2 timeouts. He's going to kick it to the 21. It's juggled and caught, and then down is Jeff Smith, who was back there just kind of playing center field.
That's just egregious. What are you doing here? Either kick it deep, or try the onside kick. I don't understand why you would kick it.
But then he muffed it.
he almost muffed it, but why give him to the 30-yard line? I mean, on that thing, there's nobody else back there.
Hilleman. We're just a couple of yards to the 33. A few moments ago, here's DJ Durkin with Danny Sutton.
Trying to get an explanation. You kicked it right to the guy. I mean, there's a ton of space out there. What are you doing? Didn't understand it the first time. I bet he got it now.
Terps now by 6. Stop. To the 36.
Use their last timeout. This is a big deal.
Hilleman wanting to get close. He just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
DJ Durkin on the sidelines. He wanted another timeout. Give me another one. Oh, whoop. No, I already used them. Never mind. Happy with the stop, and now you got yourself a 4th down, and Boston College is going to have to punt this football to Maryland.
Now we give them the players of the game, but are very aware that this football game is not over.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that.
Can we change our mind yet? Don't give them anything yet.
Punt taken at the 25. Stepping out is Morgan at about the 35. Batted in the air. That's been a common theme tonight. Well, now you know why we did give the players of the game to the D-line.
That was add another notch to somebody's belt here.
Kavalak.
Kavalak's been outstanding. See big 93 gets himself maneuvered in front of the quarterback so he can affect the throw and gets the big old arm up and slaps it down. That's a dude right there.
Hills flushed out, chased by Landry and others, and he just throws it out of bounds. It's going to be 3rd down.
They are getting after him, and the coverage down the field is really what made that play for the BC defense. I know we've been talking glowingly of this defensive front, but those guys in the back end are giving those guys up front a chance to work.
Yeah, I don't want to say their secondaries made the Maryland receivers a non-factor, but the Maryland receivers have not been a big factor in this game today. Not a huge factor.
No.
Deflected again, and it's going to come down to 1 4th down play. Zach Allen batted that one down. That's 6 straight incomplete passes now from Hills.
Watch the get off and the surge of this defensive line. They are coming to get it and try to. It's just amazing. That was Zach Allen getting that one. There's nobody prouder in this building than Paul Pasqualoni right now and his group.
Maryland has to pick up a 1st down or this game will be over. Hills.
Why not?
And only appropriate that it's going to end on a sack. Landry and Milano combined, and Boston College is going to pick up their first bowl win in 9 years.
And Milano, he was basically green dogging it. He had coverage. He came late, but it's Landry up top who just gets around the edge. He's working on the tight end, and that's they try to double him late, but that's not going to work. You cannot block Landry with a tight end. Not at this level. His 2nd of the night, 17th of the season, 21 and a half on his career.
The head-to-head battle between 2 head coaches that are very good friends off the field, Steve Addazio and DJ Durkin. I think in many ways, Ray, you look at Maryland, they turned the ball over 4 times today, really had rotten field position a lot of the game, yet here they were, maybe one more big play away at the end from winning the game.
Still had a chance. And to me, that speaks to the depth that they're starting to build and the fire in the way they play. They don't quit. They don't know any better. They get after it, and that's why I say this is the up-and-coming bowl here, the on-the-rise bowl between these 2 teams, 6-6 teams who struggled to get into this fray, but we're so glad to be here and played their hearts out today. I thought we had a great ball game.
Boston College will finish at 7-6, so that means in 3 of the 4 years for Steve Addazio's head coach, his team will finish 7-6. And big hugs on one side, on the other some disappointment at Terps here that'll finish at 6-7.
For all the people that say bowl games are meaningless, tell that to these guys. Some of the bowl games are meaningless, I should say. I don't believe that. I think they're a great thing for these football programs, a great reward, and I I love it that we got to watch these two go after it here this afternoon.
Patrick Tolles, the graduate transfer from Kentucky, his 1 year at BC leads them to their first bowl win in 9 years. Handshakes between the head coaches.
A little kiss on the cheek. We'll see you next week.
Boston College wins the 2016 Quick Lane Bowl 36-30 over Maryland. Coming up next, Monday Night Countdown, served by Applebee's. And for live coverage for this game of our post-game trophy ceremony presented by Capital One, you can log on to ESPN3. For Alex Cordry and Ray Bentley, as well as our entire fine ESPN crew, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks so much for sharing this one with us. Happy holidays from Detroit. Now let's get you to Monday Night Countdown.